Hey, so you know, of course, with my accent, I must be American. I must be uncultured. I must be an idiot. And you're absolutely right. No problem. I left America 50 years ago, and I still have a Boston accent. I'm not the kind that changes very easily. But it was very, very interesting. I'm old enough to have gotten in trouble over the Vietnam War because I chose not to fight. And as good as that feels now, it didn't feel good in the moment. And I took my honorable discharge that I was unable to adjust to the military lifestyle. I walked to England, where I was able to get a job as a bartender. And I noticed I started to drink a lot, you know. You would come into my bar and you just got divorced. I'd say, I'm not going to let you drink alone, you know. Or you just got fired from work. I'm not going to let you drink alone. And then all of a sudden there was nobody in the bar but me, and I found myself still drinking. And I was drunk as a skunk because I was repressing my pain of saying no to my American conditioning, you know. And I became alcoholic. I think a lot of us have had crutches. For me, it was alcohol. And the only place I could have a meal at 2 in the morning was the Indian restaurant across from my hotel. And one night I went over drunk to the Indian restaurant, and it was closed. And I said to the boy who was cleaning the restaurant, when will you reopen? And he said, I can't be sure. There's so many holidays in the Indian culture. I can't really be sure when we're opening. And I know I was drunk and my girlfriend was drunk. I said, we gotta go to India right now, I'm hungry. And lo and behold, we went to the airport, and I put all my money down, and I said to the boy, what can I do with all this money? And he said, you can buy one round-trip ticket to India, or you can buy 2 one-way tickets to India. Now, I don't know how intelligent you are, or how loving you are, or how lonely you are, but here's the question. I'm drunk, I'm in love. Would I buy a round-trip ticket to India or 2 one-way tickets to India? Very simple. We ended up in India. We went straight to Goa. We had no money. We were living under a cashew tree. We were making love. We were taking a swim in the Arabian Sea. We were taking a nap under the cashew tree. We were making love. We were having dinner. It was a fantastic, fantastic life until we drank the water. And once we drank the water, our relationship turned into a relationship. It was terrible. And she turned her back to me, so I turned my back to her. Even though I was 28, 29 years old, she was my first girlfriend. And she got from the lending library the biggest book in the whole world, Autobiography of a Yogi. And I said, oh my God, this relationship really is in trouble. That was the biggest book I ever saw. So I rented, for 1 rupee a day, the smallest book printed called Seeds of Revolutionary Thought by Acharya Rajneesh. Now, I couldn't read the word Acharya, so I never read the word Rajneesh, but I fell in love with every single word in this book. And I went down to the sunset with a lungi, a little piece of cloth, and a pot of herb tea, and this book, and I read a page of the book. I was getting happy. And I sipped the tea, and I was getting happy. And the one-mast sailboat was crossing the horizon, and I was getting happy. And I hadn't been happy in so long. I remember saying, wow, are you worthy of even being happy? You know, you said no to America, now you're saying no to your girlfriend. Who are you to be happy? And yet, this book was turning me on. I finished the book, I finished the tea, I put all my energy into this one-mast sailboat crossing the horizon as the sun sets. And when it did, I disappeared. I became enlightened. I never even heard the word meditation, and now I'm enlightened. And I don't know how long it took to become unenlightened again, but the first thing I did when I became unenlightened again is I started screaming at God, "You motherfucker, how could you do this to me?" You know, I don't have a body, I don't have a mind, I don't have a part. I'm one with a heart. I was one with existence. I don't like this. I need to meet someone like this guy, Achahaharya, you know? And I need to meet him now. And in one day of that command to God, I don't know if there is a God, but I was screaming at him. You have to understand, I never thought of God, never saw God, never felt God, so I felt I had to scream in order to get his attention. But within one day, I heard of a man named Osho. And I said, well, that's why I came to India, to learn to meditate. Now that I'm enlightened and now that I'm scared out of my own mind, I need to meet a master. And my God, I went in to see Osho, and it was precious. And he said to me, without me saying a word, the revolution is inside of yourself. My God, it was amazing. I began to get enlightened again, because now the U.S. Army was outside of myself, not in me. My girlfriend was outside of myself, not in me. I had a chance to be alone. I wasn't afraid to fight with myself. I just didn't want to fight with anybody else. And I was just to become enlightened again twice in 2 days when Osho said, and your new name will be Krishna Prem. I said, holy, what a terrible name. And even to this day, I hate the word Krishna, except if you say it. Then I love when you call me Krishna. But when I say Krishna, I still feel funny. You know, I don't know why. It never happened that I could say it out of joy, but when you see me and you say Krishna, you'll probably see me smile, you know. And by the way, the beat goes on from there. I fell in love, and it's never felt out of love. And Osho said, how long are you going to stay? And I said, I don't know, but I like it here. And he said, well, you stay as long as you feel lucky. And my God, it's 45 years later and I still feel lucky. He cursed me by telling me that, you know. All this is in my first book, G-U-R-U. I'll put a link in. It's a pretty good book, but it helped me to express myself in that first book, to be able to write this book, Aloneness, a Love Story, which is a celebration of my freedom. My first book, even meeting Osho, was a celebration of decorating my prison. Once I became free, now I can write about freedom. I'm not saying a word, by the way. I think you'll like both efforts. One, how do you get out of jail? How do you destroy your conditioning? Once you do that, are you going to be okay free? It's a big, big question. Do you really know how to handle no mind? Do you really know how to handle no body? Do you know how to handle no heart? You are so attached to your life, really, to be free, to be nobody at all, is really a challenge. To be one with existence is definitely not one of the things you're dreaming about today. You're dreaming about that girl, you're dreaming about that job, you're dreaming about when your parents are going to finally love you, you know? You need to drop everything, get back to who you are, and in order to have a great life. Maybe I'm wrong, who cares? If you didn't like this video, good luck. If you love this video, good luck. In other words, my life is mine, but it is an indication that you too can be pretty happy. I don't know. Love.